Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of my favourite people and some of the country's biggest stars. And this year, Liverpool's spectacular Christmas pantomime is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's on at the Auditorium at the M&S Bank Arena in Liverpool from the 13th to the 24th of December. You can get tickets by going to mnsbankarena.com. Snow White's the big show, starring JJ Hamlet and Bippo, who is Gareth Ellis, who joins us now. How you doing?
I'm very, very well, my friend. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good, and it's lovely to talk to you because your job basically is to bring joy, isn't it?
Well, I should like to think so. Joy and to some people annoyance. It's it's like Mr. Tumble. Mr. Tumble. Some people love him and some people hate him, but primarily joy and a giggle. Yeah.
How do you do it? Where do you find the energy from, especially on a 3-show day?
Pro Plus and no, I'm joking. I just love it. I've loved it. I think with me, it's an acceptance thing from years ago. You know, when we first started, because a bit of my backstory. I used to work in circuses and stuff, but in circus you have to start off at the very bottom before you get to the top. So I was constantly striving for acceptance, and I think that's how I treat my audience now. I want them to like me. I want them to laugh at me. And, I'm actually one of these... People say, the tears of a clown and things like that. I love it. I absolutely love what I do, and it sort of drives me. And, like, when I'm not doing anything, I've got time off and I'm on holiday, I hate it because it bores me. I love working and I love trying to make it exciting and fresh. And not just for me, but for the other cast members. And, and that's what excites me. Day-to-day life just bores me, really. And I just love performing. It's a good trait to have, but it can be a bit obsessive now and again. But yeah. Tell
me about your background then. So you've always been in circus, have you?
Well, it's a long story. I went to see a show called Bippo Circus when I was 4 years old. And Bippo Circus is still going now. And I became obsessed with it. I'm not part of a circus family. I'm what they call in circus a jostler. It's like Harry Potter with muggles and all that. I'm a jostler. So no, not circus family completely. I'd like to say normal. My dad was a gas engineer for British Gas. My mum was a nursery nurse, and I became obsessed with clowns. And they thought it was just a phase. And the week after, everyone, I'd want to be what everyone else wants to be. So, like a fireman, a policeman, all the other kids that I hang around with, I would want to be what they would want to be as well. But no, I stuck to clowning. And they sort of went along with it, thinking, well, this is a bit strange for a child to be this obsessed with something, but we'll go along with it. And then I started working, so I started doing the school assemblies, which started getting me the taste of performing. And then we sort of wrote off to circuses to ask if we could go and stay on school holidays, so we used to do that. And then I worked for Butlins on the relaunch tour. I was Britain's youngest redcoat, so started performing, and it just sort of kept going and snowballing. And then when I was 9 years old, my dad got made redundant from British Gas. My mum was bored with her job, so we decided to get rid of the 4-bedroom house in Manchester, move into a 3-berth caravan and join the circus. Wow. And I've been doing it ever since. This is my 21st year now. And my mum and dad stopped doing it a few years ago when I left Zippo's, because I was on Bippo Circus for 9 years. And then once I moved on, they couldn't have a job on the other circuses that I was performing on. So they just went home, and I sort of carried on doing it, and I'm still doing it now. This is 21st year, so it's a bit crazy, but it's a lot of fun.
It's the showbiz dream, really. And here you are back with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That's from the 13th to the 24th of December at the Auditorium in Liverpool at the M&S Bank Arena. And this is your second year, backed by popular demand, which means expectations are even higher. You do know that, Gareth?
Yeah, I keep seeing that, backed by popular demand. We did the light switch on the other day. I'm backed by popular demand. I was like, oh no, there's so much pressure. I love it. It makes me excited. And to be honest, the Liverpool audiences are my kind of audiences as well. They're really up for it. They give as good as they get. I don't like audiences that just sort of sit there. But with circus, you tour around England and you see all the other places, and there's some areas that I'm not going to mention that they hardly clap for you. They sort of sit there like, make me laugh, fat boy, and other areas. Whereas Liverpool, they want to be on the stage as much as you sometimes, mainly because of alcohol. I'm joking,
especially at the 10 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. The parents. But yeah, I just love the audiences. They're so up for it, and I thought, you're my kind of people. I'm from up north. I'm from Manchester, so it's not that far away. And I just I clicked, and then I think I signed the contract for the year after during the dress rehearsal of last year. So it went that well. You know, it was brilliant. You know, it was that good.
Well, you're an old school entertainer, aren't you? Really, to find people who can knock it out of the park, the Connollys, the Matt Slacks, even the Joe Pasquales, and people like you is rare. There aren't that many people who can wow an audience. It's an old skill that's sort of been lost a little bit. Yeah,
and I think you've got to turn your hand to everything. And I like watching comics like Joe Pasquale and Cannon and Ball. I love them to pieces. And they don't just stand there, tell jokes. Yes, they're very, very funny, but they can do everything. The singers, dancers, like Joe Pasquale does a lot of magic, and some of it's brilliant, you know, like Tommy Cooper and things like that. And I think if you can make someone laugh and then impress them at the same time, and then, you know, you've got all these little hidden gems that you can do. I like that. And, you know, I'm quite, I don't want to say I'm a good juggler. I can juggle quite well, and I like to always put the juggling in like near the end of the show, so they've just seen me act like a complete prat the whole show, and then all of a sudden I'm like doing this solid skill that takes quite a lot of determination and frustration to get good at, you know. And I think it does mean something, even nowadays with YouTube and all that. It does mean something for people to see, not just a comic, as someone that can do things as well, you know. It's good.
Oh, people can smell talent from a mile off. I'm worried though, because you're playing Muddles this year in Snow White. You're not going to be bothering that Snow White, are you? You know, there's a lot of rules now in theatre.
There's a lot of rules. Yeah, I've been seeing someone the other day. I was doing a circus show, and the ringmaster, we do photos at the end, and someone came up and said, "Oh, you won't be able to say ladies and gents anymore." So I was saying, "Wow, gee." And then, you know, I've been seeing different things about pantomime, like you don't, you know, the dame's going to have to be played by a lady soon, and it's all a bit. I hope it does stick to tradition. And I hope it does, because there's nothing better, you know. The dame that I've got this year, Mark Hudson, he's very, very funny. The dame I had last year, Danny Mills, complete brilliance. Like, he used to make me cry, not just on stage in the dressing room. Like, such such a brilliant person, you know, like a Jack D, you know, always like a Les Dawson, a funny miserable, you know. But yeah, I love it, and I think, I don't know, Panto is what it is, and I think it's very British, and I think people love it for what it is. I think if you changed what it is, then people would start going, "Oh, well, we could just go and watch."
That's right.
I don't know.
They want what they know, don't they? If we don't get the old gags and the sort of inappropriacy of it. I mean, there is an un-PC thing about the whole concept of Panto. We've got to keep it. That's what people love.
Yeah, even when you do, so let's say like some years you don't do the bench in the ghost gag, or some years you don't do silly tiny little gags that don't really make a massive difference. When you're speaking to people at the end of the show, and like you look at comments nowadays on Facebook and stuff, they will still bring up, "Oh, why wasn't there a bench in?" or "Why didn't you say it's behind you?" or "Why didn't," you know, so people know what it is. And I think that's what's good about pantomime. So much now in entertainment, people don't know what they're going to see because of social media, because of everything else. You can advertise things in so many different ways and things like that. Like circus, they don't know whether it's going to be like Cirque du Soleil or a stunt show, but you know, so people don't know what they're going to see. Whereas pantomime, I think, is one of the only things left around where they know 100% you're going to go there, you're going to be involved, you're going to laugh, you're going to have sweets thrown at you, there's a bloke in a dress, you know, they know everything, they know every detail. And I think that's why TV shows work and consecutively, because they know what they're getting, they know the format, they know the people, you know.
Give them what they want, that's what I say.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a believer in that as well.
Hey, listen, great to talk to you. Gareth will be starring in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs as Bippo, as Muddles in Snow White, and bothering her throughout the performance. You can see the amazing, spectacular show with 3D special effects this Christmas from the 13th to the 24th of December, which means you'll be home for Christmas Day and you can relax after. That's marvellous. Get more information by going to the website. mnsbankarena.com is the website for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from the 13th of December. Bippo, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, mate. It's been a pleasure.